Belinda and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of Neeka and the Missing Key, Wilder Zoo, Book 1, written by Tina Strachan and read by Belle Parkinson. For Oscar and Charlie, T.S. For Trummy and Nessie, with love, M.H.
Chapter 1. "Grab me a carrot and an apple, please," Declan called after me as I jumped from the buggy. "And a couple of bananas." "Yum! Great breakfast," I yelled back as I jogged across the driveway towards the kitchen. "Oh, and half a tub of worms." "Not so yummy now," I laughed as I bounded the last few steps to the kitchen. But Declan wasn't joking. Anywhere else, worms for breakfast may seem disgusting, but not here at Wilder Zoo. I pushed between the clear plastic curtains hanging in strips to keep the flies and birds out, grabbed a bucket from the top of a tall stack and skipped past the large stainless steel tables in the middle of the room. Most of the day, the animal food preparation kitchen, or food prep as it's usually called, was buzzing with staff. Laughter and music and all kinds of food smells would fill the room. Not this early, though. Declan and I were always the first to arrive. "Come on, Neeka," he called from outside, beeping the squeaky horn of the buggy. He was particularly excited about something today. I used all my weight to pull back on the fridge door. It was large and heavy, and it stuck tight whenever it closed. So when it finally burst open, it sent me flying with it. Luckily, I expected it and jumped to the side to avoid being squished between the door and the tiled wall behind me. I stepped into the fridge. It was so big it would fit my whole bedroom inside it. The cold air was refreshing. I breathed in the sweetness of the pears overflowing from their box beside me and the earthiness of the silver beets spearing over the shelf. I crinkled my nose at 3 big mullets defrosting on the silver tray. I filled my bucket with Declan's fruit and veggie order and jumped back out, pushing the fridge door hard behind me to make sure it was shut tight. No way was I going to give Pamela, the kitchen manager, an excuse to yell at me. Pamela had managed the kitchen for 20 years, and she knew everything about everything in here. She kept a very close eye on all the food ordered and stored down to the last grain of wheat. And she really didn't like it if we left the fridge door open, even if it was an accident. And the punishment for getting caught? Compost duty. It was so gross, lugging all the stinky food scraps up to the big rotting pile of compost each day. Yuck! "You okay, Neeks?" Declan yelled from outside. "Coming!" I called back, stopping at the long bench where the live food was kept. I bypassed chirping crickets and a fish tank full of tiny crayfish to get a large tub pulsing with worms. I scooped up half a small round container of worms, giving it a little shake to check if they were all wriggling. Wriggling ones were the best. Then placed a lid with a few air holes on the top. I added the worms to my bucket before bursting back out through the plastic curtains. Declan revved the buggy engine when he saw me, a huge smile on his face. Declan was probably the zookeeper I spent the most time with. He was second in charge of the African elephants, and he had a cool earring on his left ear, a little silver hoop with a tiny elephant charm hanging from it. I'm here, I said as I squeezed the bucket into the buggy's back tray between a bale of hay and a big bunch of sugar cane stalks. Done. He patted the empty seat beside him. "Come on, let's go." "Oh no, I can't," I said, my shoulders slumping. Morning rounds at the zoo were my favorite. Dad said if I make him late for work one more time, I won't be allowed to help out here in the mornings anymore. Just then, my watch, one of those digital ones that tracks how many steps you do each day, began to beep, and the screen flashed with a little picture of a notepad and a pen under the word school. I twisted my wrist up to Declan so he could see. Mum even set an alarm on my watch for 7:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. I pressed a button on the side of my watch and the beeping stopped.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?